video.
Vehicle, for your own safety, we recommend you hold on to one of the bars in the carriage throughout your journey.
It first opened in 2001. It was constructed over 3 years, with the recent additional strengthening works taking 2 years to complete. The Victorians introduced funiculars to the UK, and they take their name from the land of road, Funis. More than 30 were built to serve the fast-growing holiday resorts and cliff-top hotels on the south and east coast of England and Wales. Some of them are still operating today. They are highly efficient, environmentally friendly. Indeed, when the Cairngorm Funicular has a full downhill carriage and an empty uphill carriage, which happens definitely on a busy day, the system generates a small amount of electricity, which is then fed back into the national grid. If the weather is kind today, you will see the incredible view from the west coast out to the Murray Firth. On the clearest of days, the visibility can be anything up to 60 miles to the west, 70 miles to the northwest, 80 miles to the north, and 45 miles out to the northeast. In the foreground, you can see the vast forests of Glenmore and Rothiemurchus, the great Strath of the majestic River Spey. The River Spey is renowned as one of the finest salmon rivers in Scotland, flowing 107 miles from high in the Monolea Mountains out to the Murray coast. The River Spey is one of the few rivers that flows both into the North Atlantic Ocean and the North Sea, due to the headwaters being used to feed the hydroelectric turbines at Fort William. The river follows part of an ancient geological fault line which starts in the west near Loch Awe and runs in a northeast direction, passing Granton and Spey. This fault line has given certain parts of the Spey Valley tiny tremors from time to time, with the last being recorded in 1999 at a scale of 1.2 on the Richter scale, which was recorded near Kinbeckie, north of Abbeymoor. Looking ahead and down the track, you can see the passing loop. The passing loop is precisely halfway along the 1.8 kilometre length of track. It is the only section of double track on the route, and the only time when the carriages come close together. There are 2 carriages and they are connected by a steel rope. At the passing loop, the carriages always pass on the same side. Carriage 1 always passes on the right going down. As we descend the passing loop, on the left we will pass the site of the original chairlift that was built in Corrycass, a white leading chairlift. Opening in 1961, the chairlift building was plagued by constant drifting snow during the winter, burying the access doors on a regular basis. Years later, the chair drive unit lifted onto the top of the building, becoming affectionately known as the Briggy, where it was less prone to snow burial. In the good old days, you had to walk up from the car park just to get to the chairlift, but in subsequent years, the lower chairlift was built from where the mountain garden is located today. On the right of the track, you can see the shieling building. A shieling was a term used to describe a shelter in remote areas of the Highlands, where crofters would spend the summer as they would tend to their grazing cattle. Remains of these buildings can still be seen all over the Highlands as ruins, many overgrown with vegetation or taken over by forest and woodland plantations. Many songs, tunes and poems have been written to celebrate this important part of Highland culture.
wheels on the passing loop. We don't need them as we have double flanged wheels on one side of each car. Ours are on the right, so we always go down to the right on the loop. Our left hand wheels are rollers, they just roll across the open track to get onto the middle of the loop. Carriage 2K has half flanged wheels on the left. Each carriage weighs a total of 15 tonnes, that's the equivalent of 12 family cars, and can carry a maximum of 100 passengers standing. That's in the winter when everybody's got their skis and snowboards with them. This is the widest passenger funicular railway in the world. Our track gauge is 2 metres, carriage width 3.2 metres. It needs to be a more stable vehicle due to the high winds that we get. We're not allowed to run it in wind speeds over 75 miles per hour for the public, but it can run in wind speeds up to 120. It gets pretty rock and roll then though. Now you might have noticed the yellow machines out there on the mountain. That's our snow cannons. We use those in the winter. They work in temperatures of -2 degrees Celsius or less. They take the water in from the bottom, throw it up in the air, and it falls as snow. Whereas the snow factory, which is that big ugly white thing down at the car park level, that pulls the water in from the bottom, freezes it, and then throws it out through a pipe onto the beginner run down at the bottom here. That can work in temperatures up to 25 degrees Celsius. And we forecast snow tonight, so that'll be the end of this lovely weather we've been getting. Now looking downhill out to your left, you'll see our mountain garden, highest mountain garden in the UK. And we also have the highest telephone box in the UK in the mountain garden. And yes, the phone does work before you think about going and testing it on an emergency call. Someone did that last week and we landed up with the police up here. We also have an unusual building in the garden, which is our camera obscura, and that's where the ball run starts from. Now as we enter the base station, you'll see a big bar that comes over the roof of the carriage. That's a charging arm. We dock into it and it charges batteries that we have on board for our lights and our screens and for the doors. And when we come to a halt, I'll open the doors on the right hand side of the car as you look down the track. Make your way down the stairs and round through the double doors over to the left. On behalf of all the staff here on Cairngorm Mountain, thank you for being with us today. We hope you've enjoyed your visit and I look forward to seeing you back again sometime soon.